All right, good morning traders, and welcome to the Bookmap webinar. We're going to be going through basically any market that you want. That's the all markets webinar here, but it's about the order flow. It's about reading it in real time and being able to understand where price might go based on that analysis. By understanding the auction process, we can start to understand where price can go. The behavior of the participants in the auction. General disclosure, all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. A bit of news here. We have a new upcoming webinar. And it's for those that are want a refresher or are new to Bookmap. It's an onboarding webinar. It's going to be Tuesday at 2 p.m. East Coast time. So you can go to the channel here. Let me show you, or let me get the link here. Actually, I think Dan, I think you have the registration link, right? Correct? Let me. Yeah, you gave it to me here. I got it. And I'll put this into the chat for you guys on YouTube. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, onboarding. So this is, to really help you guys. Some have a hard time getting connected and understanding what they're looking at, etc. We will just very simply answer your questions and get you up and running and connected to data, etc. That's what this webinar is all about. It's only half an hour, but we're going to be doing it weekly. All right. Okay. So anyway, you can see it on the calendar as well if you go to bookmap.com. And you go to our education here, and you scroll down to our calendar here. You'll see the webinar here. Okay, so special event color is yellow, is like our Bookmap Academy meeting on Thursdays at market close, and then this onboarding webinar here on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Okay. All right. So let's jump in here and see what's going on. We're going to look at our bigger picture here. Okay, we have a little volatility, a little bit of a spike in the, we're above 16. I don't know if we are now at the moment, but we started off that way up around 20 or so in the VIX. And it's just, if we look at our higher time frame, this is where we left off last week. We started the week here. You can see this gap here. This is the week, and then here's the weekend here. So this is the entire week last week. And we noted the on Monday the bullishness of breaking this area, testing up into 60.50 above it. We get a pullback, and then we see the continuation here. I mean, this is exactly what we're looking for on a breakout on any time frame. Okay, this is it. And we see beautiful follow through to the upside for the rest of the week. Okay, so what's happening now today? Well, we can see the open and for the week, and this pretty heavy selling coming in. Look at the size and color of the dots. Look at the bars and the size and color of the bars as well. So there's a lot of selling up here, right? But what have we done so far in terms of price structure? Well, we have traded back down to the swing here, the backside of the trend line here, and we're back up above it now. So is this a trend reversal? Are we seeing light volume on the buy side on the pullback here, back up into some of these areas here? These are questions we want to answer. But beautiful stuff here on the higher time frame to see. Look at this high liquidity in here on the ES filled in here. A bit below it, we don't see much selling, and then we see buyers where? Above that liquidity and above that selling here. Okay, and they're stepping on it this morning. You can see. So we see the cash open here at 9:30 and a nice move to the upside. Okay, so anyway, this is very, very typical. We see this on all time frames, and you can use Bookmap on higher time frames like this and apply it to the lower time frames. So what's going on in here is all of that volume. Look at the cluster, at the size and color of the dots, and look at the bars as well. Okay, heavy sell bars in here. Okay, but we're above it. We're above all of that, and you see buyers now coming in. Okay, so we can see a potential for a short squeeze to the upside as well. Okay, so looks pretty good to come back up and retest this 60-50 up here, and we'll see. Okay, so we'll zoom in here and take a look on the smaller time frame. But anyway, this is an alpha version of Bookmap that I've been demoing for you guys that can go back years now, which is amazing. It's not quite there for you guys yet. However, I've been demoing it, and we will be not sure. We don't have a launch date yet for it for beta. Okay, let's see. Questions over here on YouTube? No. Yep. Good morning, Dieter. And Mr. 36, Renya. All right. Mr. 36. Okay, let's dive in a little deeper here, and I'm going to jump over to the ES here. You can see this is the ES chart, but this one here is the Trader Map Pro version or Trader Map Lite. You can use, but this is part of the MBO bundle, and you can see that we filtered the heat map in here, and you can start to read what's happening in here at a better level. Okay, we start to drill in and see the liquidity. It's the same processes that we were looking at earlier. We're just seeing it here on a lower time frame, and here it is for today. You can see there's a lot of liquidity that's just starting to transact right now. Okay? Just testing into just not very few transactions in here at 60.20. Okay, so only like 62 contracts, and we're starting to already find some buyers here. Okay, so anyway, we're still on a downtrend. I'd actually look for this to test back to 20 again, and here we go. Okay, so we should actually get a nice little move here. And look, I'm looking forward to trade through it. Maybe we can get down into maybe down to 15 or so here. But let's see these sellers take them on here. We're still in a downtrend. Okay, the structure's still showing that here. We do see some buying coming in, pockets of buying, but they're not getting traction yet. Okay, and we also see the high liquidity being filled on the bid here. So these are buyers. This is demand. Okay, and then this is passive demand here, and this is passive, or this is aggressive demand with the green dots here. Okay, that are lifting the market. Now we just see that more demand got filled here, but we're still just finding more sellers. They were immediately pulled back right to it, found some buyers. And now the question, though, is like, can we get buyers above it? Okay? And can we break the structure? Because right now, we're not breaking it. And we want to see the break of the structure first. And we want to see the aggressors start to come in now. Because we've noted that this demand is getting filled. Okay, so here we go. Okay, it's getting interesting now. And let's see if we can get a bit more buying and trade up to this structure here. Okay, boy, I even want to jump in here. And I want to show you, I'm going to trade to my, now this is only in demo paper trading mode, but it's to demo how to manage and look for order flow events in here and take the opportunity. Okay, how to read it. Now, again, It's not a trading strategy here that I'm going over specifically. We're reading the order flow and looking for price. If we can get our buyers here, okay, here they are. Now we're looking for the move back up into this liquidity here at 26. Right. So first was the test up to this structure here, but it's looking pretty good. Let's see if we can get a bit more buying up. Oh, I'm sorry. No, we did trade into some high liquidity there. Okay. All right. So not out of the woods yet by the buy side. Okay. Not out of the woods. Okay. We're just trading up to the structure. Oh, thanks, James. Great product we have over here. All right. So we've broken it, but have we accepted higher here? We just traded up to this high liquidity here at 26. Okay. Actually, I'm kind of looking for a pullback here. And to see if the sellers can reach back down to maybe 20. And we can see our trend line's broken here, so we're going to edit this one. Okay, we're back down to about 20. Okay, and nothing shaking here. Don't see buyers yet. Don't see sellers yet. This week, big week. We have FOMC on Wednesday, and I think that's why we're seeing this big pullback today. And interest rates like and inflation and tariffs and new policies from the White House, or new kind of economic outlooks here, and the market's telling us, okay, what they think of it. So another one to really keep an eye on too, I'm going to add in here, is euro dollar. Okay, that tells us a lot. That's really weird. Okay, I did this by default. That's odd. Okay, hold on a minute here. Get rid of that. That's really strange. Okay, so we'll go with the 6E, and we'll go with H5. Okay. Okay, so actually we were down to like a $1.02 or $1.03 last week, I believe. So this is actually pretty good. We're seeing it at 105 here. It's not bad. All right, let's zoom out a little bit here and see what's going on. Okay, so yeah, starting to see some buying back up into these areas in here. Okay, pretty strong buying coming in. Okay, again, we've already kind of missed the pullback here. We can take a shot at it. Actually, I'm going to look for another pullback here. And this is where I'm going to place my order here. And again, this is not a trading room. It's not a trade recommendation. We're demoing how to read order flow and how to consider management within this area here. So for example, we're looking for a pullback to where these buyers came in here. Okay. Let's see if we get it. All right, we're filled. All right. Why are we looking for it here? Okay, what about down here? Well, it might come down to here. It might come down to 29. We don't know. But this is where the aggressive buyers came in, and this is where, since this is a strong move, I would look for them to support it again here, right? That's why. And our target, we can put it up here by that high liquidity up at 40. Okay, this wall of liquidity that we just couldn't trade into previously up here. All right, let's see if we get more buyers now. And here's high of the day here up at we're just above high of the day actually with our take profit. We are looking for them to break it here. Now, if that's the case, maybe we even want to move it higher and look for 50. We're kind of asking a lot by placing our target up here. Yeah, in fact, either two ways to go about it. Either take some profit up here, because look at how thin it's traded up here, right? So we've gotten a steep pullback here. Okay, that's good, but we're looking for those buyers here to, if they're going to break the high, then it's probably going to break out. So then I'm looking for a take profit maybe up by the figure here instead. So now I'm really curious to see if we get enough buyers to trade up into and break the high here at 40, because we couldn't earlier. I don't know if there's any questions. Good morning, Shark. Yeah, sure. We can look at some absorption. We just had some here, Shark. The way I like to kind of cover it, Shark, is kind of where the buyers met the sellers, and then we're not looking for follow through. Like here, this liquidity here, these buyers met sellers, and we pull back. It was absorbed. This buying pressure was absorbed. Now we're back up here, and we're finding more buyers though. Okay, where's the next area for it to be absorbed? Probably up here, 38 or our 40 level. You see there's tons of liquidity up here, 574 contracts, right? So we're getting a lot of information up here actually. Like we really need to see a bunch of buying pick up here. If we don't, then maybe we just exit this because we need to see the buyers break the high. And how thinly traded it is in here, well, then we need to see a lot of trading take place on the buy side up here for it to break. Okay, so let's see. This looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. This might be enough now to trade up into 40. Okay, and so we're up into 38 here. We're up at the highs of the day. Okay, now let's see. We should get enough buyers up in here to break that and come up into 40. Okay, now I'm really curious to see what happens up here at 40. There we go. Okay, so now we traded through it, and now we're looking for follow through above that. Okay, look at how thinly traded it is up here right now. Okay, so if I don't get a retest up here and buyers again, I'm going to exit this. Okay, they're there. It's back and forth. There's potential. Okay, Shark, this is expected, some chop now after trading into very high liquidity. All right, let's see if we get some sellers take it right back down, but buyers taking it back up again. There are buyers in here, but they're kind of in the range in here, kind of trapped. Okay, so again, we're looking for a lot of buying here, not exhaustion. Okay, there's not absorption up here, Shark. We don't see liquidity. All right, let's come on, buyers now. Let's see you push it and hit 45, or maybe our target up around 50. And that's very, very little here. And that's just not enough, right? I'm going to exit it. And now we don't know, right? But this is what we do know. Right in here, there wasn't much buying. In fact, we found more selling. Okay, so this is the buying we found in here, and then we get a retest up here and a little bit more, but still it's not much, right? So I'm really on these rotations, I'm not really looking for the breakout yet. Okay, now here we go. This actually is looking much better now. Another rotation back up, okay, and that we're looking for them to really pick it up here. Hey, way to go, Rob! You passed your top step evaluation this morning or last night. Excellent. Nice. Congratulations. Way to go, Rob. That's just excellent. Yeah, I really applaud you. And you've been working real hard on this. So fantastic stuff. Rob, you know, like one of the things, like it just you tell me, but one of the one of the things that seemed to really, you found something that resonated with you, which was options levels and higher time frame levels. And that's so critical to understand. I mean, we're going over the details in order flow again and again, and we actually now have access to this higher time frame order flow in Bookmap here. Which is you know, pretty dang nice here to see. Anyway, we'll be doing more of that in the near future. So now this is looking pretty good. So after all of that chop, okay, now see the difference here. Now we're getting our buyers here. Okay, so I'm going to hold off though. Like we're kind of looking for a move up into this 45 here. There it is. Okay, so Shark, this is where we want to see. There's our absorption. Okay, a little bit through it, but see the selling come right in, and we would anticipate that. Okay, this is very typical. Okay, now we're looking for, you know, even in a trend, you're looking for your pullback after that absorption here. Okay, this is where the buyers met the sellers. Okay, this is the supply, this is the demand, and then we get a pullback and we get chop after that transaction takes place. We look for the pullback to where these buyers came in, or where there is liquidity. Okay, and in this case it's kind of both here around 41.5. Okay, now we can put some trend lines and, you know, other, you know, horizontal lines and, you know, whatever it is on it as well. But let's in fact do that. You know, but this is fine to put structure on it like this. You know, I think it's what we've all read about and done for years. However, if we align it with liquidity and order flow, and we understand the behavior at that order flow, we have something much stronger. And we can, this is it here. This is the liquidity. We're getting buyers after it trades into that liquidity in here. And more buyers. Okay, so now we got out of our trade, but you know, we had our reasons there, and it looks like it's trading up to 50 now though. Okay, and this is where we originally put our target. There's some exhaustion for you. So here's the distinction. Beautiful here. This is actually quite pretty. We got absorption, chop, some absorption here on the pullback too, and then we have another barrage of aggressive buying up into liquidity here. And then look at the liquidity up here. There is very little liquidity up in here, but there's not that much buying, and kind of exhaust out here. And when we see the sellers pick up. Okay, so at that point, now I'm looking for a heavier pullback by the sellers, and we got it. Okay, and we went below this swing now. Tree Lee, how can you turn off the bot fake liquidity? Yeah, so we've got TraderMap Lite or TraderMap Pro. So this is what you can do. Go to your add-ons button up here. Now I'm using this new version. It will be like you'll see it. It says configure add-ons when you hover over it. Click on that, and then come down to your add-ons manager. Click on that, and then scroll down, and you probably see it in here. It's free. So the TraderMap Lite version. I'm using a different one called TraderMap Pro that has more settings, or like, subtleties. TraderMap Lite here I also have, as you can see, and so install it, and then add it to your chart. Okay, and then you've got settings in there. Go with the standard. You only get 3 settings with the TraderMap Lite, so go with standard and start with that one. Thanks, Eloise. Yep. And Trader Lee, you've jumped over to our Discord channel. That's great. Yeah, I think you're going to get a lot more from our Discord channel. You've got a great community over here. So they're going to, as you can see, look at the support for Rob. Yeah, way to go, Rob. Really, just I can't tell you how happy I am for you. And taking away like some of the things that we're talking about higher time frames. As you guys know, like during these webinars, I have an hour and a half, so I'm trying to go over understanding order flow on multiple time frames. Okay, scalps versus maybe kind of intermediate, maybe holding for several minutes, or maybe holding for the day, and it's kind of tough to cover all of those things, and take positions and everything. So again, that's why this is, take it as a grain of salt in here. We will trade, but this is for demo paper trading mode, and it's not a trading room. It's not a trading recommendation. It's not a trade copying room. But let's take a look at this price action in here and see the selling coming in. Okay. Well, and where the buyers are retesting back up here, and we'll see if we get more buyers back up above and we get our move up into 50. Else, I would look for the move back to this 38 here. Okay. Because that's where the liquidity is, and it's at the bottom of the range, and maybe we're getting into a range bound environment. Okay, we're getting our answer right now. Well, we're at the top of the range here, and we see the buyers coming back in. Okay, here's our classic exhaustion again up here. Look for sellers, look for them to take it back down to where the buyers are, which is here, or down here, or maybe liquidity here. Okay, so look at the strong buying here, high liquidity, and above it very little buying. Sellers, no buying. Sellers, no buying. Sellers take it down. Okay, so now we're going to retest, and again, let's see here. Okay, here exhaustion again. All right, so let's see if we get, now I'm looking for sellers at the bottom end or range here. And I'm not seeing much. This is not enough to have an action. And this action here is so typical. It precisely this is we're looking for sellers at this bottom edge, but this is where we get the pullback to. Sometimes it's structurally, most of the time it's liquidity or where those buyers came in. This is kind of where it tested, and then we get buyers back up again up in here. Okay, this can be really kind of challenging trading because you're looking for that breakout, but you get these pullbacks like this. Okay, so how do you deal with that? Well, anticipate the pullbacks. Okay, and then you're still bullish in here. Well, we look for the order flow on the bottom edge in here for these pullbacks to get involved into the trade. Okay, so the cluster traded up here, so looking for maybe kind of a shakeout or a big pullback, and then continuation. Okay, just like this, and this is what it looks like here. Let me go over. We got our candlestick chart here. I'm actually going to go over like a 5-minute candlestick chart. We go less than that. Let's go down to a 1 minute. See what we get. Yeah, see the wicks like this? So you get our breakout, but you get his pullback. You get a breakout, you get a pullback. So we're anticipating that. If that's the fact, then we're looking for maybe getting back into the pullback, taking it to the top of the range and taking some off, holding for a runner because we are still in an uptrend here. Okay, so again, here, just breaching here, get some people into the market. Now we're looking for a pullback. Okay, we got the figure up here at 50, but we're still looking for a pullback here. Okay, now the question is where? All right, well, let's start to mark up our charts. And look for some technical areas, but also some liquidity. Okay, so we've got our technical areas. Okay, here and here. Okay, and we've got our liquidity down in these areas here, especially down at 40. Okay, we also have another one here actually, right here, this level. Okay, at 45. Okay, now we're going to watch the order flow around this. Okay, there's our test down here. And buyers. Okay, so sellers down below it. We don't know. I'm kind of looking for a deeper pullback here. But we may get buyers coming back up above here, 46 or so. Okay, there we go. All right, so yeah, in fact, let's take a shot at this here. I'm actually looking for a little more liquidity to trade here. There we go. All right, so now it's down below that area. Now I'm going to inch into this here because I'm still looking for this to pull back, to be honest. And for that reason, I'm going to move my stop down, and I'll keep my profit up here at 50. Okay, so I'm kind of looking for sellers to take a deeper dive into it down into these levels here. We're not getting it right now. It's the buyers came right back in. Okay, now maybe the buyers have enough pressure here to now trade back up into 50. All right, let's do this because we don't know, but we're looking for that too. And since we got a good entry down here, I'm just going to put my stop right at break even. Okay, if I had multiples on, I would take some off at the top of this range here, but we don't have that. So it's up to you. At management up here, the safe thing to do is, like, if you got this pullback, get out, take your profit. All right, look for the next one. Okay, look where the pullback came to. Okay, large volume dot on the buy side. You look for buyers again to enter here. Okay, we're not getting it. Shark, here's one that we've seen so many times, and it's a tricky one. Is we see buyers come in, buyers come in, buyers come in. They're actually breaking it now, so this is not quite it. I'd actually look for them to take it higher. But a lot of times, it's not exhaustion, but there's just no follow through, and the buyers just can't even make a swing, the previous swing high, and then those can lead into some really, really nice breakdown moves. Yeah, actually, let's see. We'll probably get it here right now. And if that's the case, then we're just gonna exit and take a small profit on that one, and we're out. This is a hybrid of it. It's a more kind of special case, but like this looks really good. Where we see like buyers try, they try again, they try again, they just can't do it. And at this point, you usually see sellers come in here, and it can lead to really nice moves, like down to like 40 or 38 or so. I mean, usually not only a test of the previous swing, but a break of it. Yeah. So it's kind of doing that right now. Okay, so high liquidity now, traded here though at 40. All right, so let's zoom out. Let's take a breather here. And kind of reset. Yeah, I'm looking for 38 to transact. And it's a low volume node here as well, as you can see. So if we can get buyers back up above after trading into 38, that'd be a good thing to do. Trade back to our level here at 42.5. Shark, let me know if I answered your question. If you want more examples. It's this play between exhaustion and absorption. I mean, they're very different things. Okay, absorption, has to deal with the limit orders. Exhaustion is all about the aggressor, and that there may or may not be liquidity there, but a lot of the times there's none, and you just it's kind of the end of the auction here. There's all sorts of books out there over the years that talk about this, where I don't know, what was I reading? I guess it was it was on Market Profile, and was the end of the auction, and it was a cattle trader who had seen it so many times, like at an auction, where price goes up and someone finally just gets the last, they pay the last price, and there's just no more interest, right? That's your exhaustion. Okay, so someone finally paid. This might be it here. Okay, we don't know, right? And then we get a swing the other way here. Okay. Wait a minute, hold on guys. So it traded into our level here that we were looking for, right? So yeah, now we're getting our buyers out of that area. So this is kind of a missed opportunity. This is a nice little trade here. As you guys can see, like, these days can be tricky, but they can also be, quite profitable. You're kind of constantly getting in and out due to the wicks and the pullbacks in here. It kind of breaks out, then it pulls back in. It kind of breaks out and it pulls back in. Here we're on the 1 minute chart. You can see like we broke the structure here. So this is a little different. Now we're getting maybe we'll see if sellers come in after you see buyers retested it right back to this cluster of activity up here. So I'm kind of curious now if we get more and more sellers now, and we might have a kind of a reversal on a small time frame on our hands here. Anyway, a moral of the story here, I guess, is on these kinds of days, you know, you're not looking for the follow through, you're looking for a pullback. Oh, you're welcome, Shark. I'm glad. It's a really simple concept. Just, you know, we're in this case, it's where you know, the passive demand here was met by the aggressive supply. The transaction took place, and then there's no more after that. Actually, it wasn't really absorbed so much. It was absorbed on the way down, but not fully. You see, there's just, they still trade through. Then we see kind of both here in this example. Then it exhausts out here, right? And then we see that well, you know, no one wants to sell anymore, and that's where you start to find some buyers take it back. And look where we come back to. You just can't make this stuff up. You know, right back to where those sellers came in and where these buyers came in above it. All right, interesting. Okay, bottom edge here. I don't like it. I mean, kind of looking for a break here, but a break of it, but I just don't see a lot of sellers here to justify that. Okay, sellers taking it down into 36. I kind of missed it again. I was like, you know, kind of to demo that idea. You can kind of scalp it back up to the top of the range here. You know, looking for that pullback here. So we'd actually be trading the pullback. Okay, is that enough? And some pretty good buying coming back in. This might be looking pretty good for a reversal now. We were kind of looking for the reversal to the downside. Maybe I think looks like we're starting to kind of recover here, and buyers back up to the top of this little range here. Well, let's see if we can get a pullback to maybe here, right? And we'll follow some of this liquidity along the way. Okay, some of the liquidity is coming up a little higher here at 40. Okay, these guys pulled that liquidity. Okay, all right, we're filled. Now, again, I don't like having my stop right here. I want it to be below some of that liquidity. and we'll move our stop up here to 50. Still looking for this 50 test here. All right, so now what do we've got going for us in here? We've got some of that buying coming in. We get the selling, but we get buying. So we're kind of in this back and forth area, but we did break the structure up here. It just didn't follow through. So that's why we got in here on a pullback. Again, it's not a trading recommendation. So we actually came down a little lower to this swing. And let's see. Another thing to take a look at in here is ATR or swings, and start to get a feel for those swings and anticipate. So, are we going to get this move higher back into the range here, or back up into some of these highs? Well, at least we've got one thing kind of going for us. Like this here is equal to, well, it's actually a little bit, it's gone down a little bit more. So we're starting to trend down here. We're going to get stopped out. Looks like. But anyway, so all right, so it went a little bit more than our range here, and we're on the wrong side of this one. But we hit it behind high liquidity here. So let's see if we can get some buyers after that passive buying was filled in here. And we're not getting any buyers here, none whatsoever. Okay, likelihood of getting stopped out very, very high here. Yeah, there's just more selling at these bottom areas in here. We never know. Look, we had our ideas here. There, we're stopped out. We had our idea. In fact, we can get back in if we do see that large buying. But we have a lot of things going for us in here at the bottom of this range in here. We had the swings. We had the high liquidity here and here and here getting filled. Now what we need is this here, the aggressors on the other side to break the structure. Okay? And we're going to watch and see if we get that. All right, let's also take a look at our higher time frame in here. And the 1 minute chart is not very high. Let's look at our 15-minute chart. Hourly and our daily here. Interesting. It just almost filled the gap here at hourly. Actually, it has to come all the way down here. All right, here, let's see if we get our buyers in here. And let's zoom out on this one too. Hey, do we see anything in here justify this? It's not bad. This is where we see some high liquidity here. Trade it here. Okay, now we're in a very small, tight little range. Okay, let's see if we can get it here. Squeeze here to the upside. The reasoning for this here, why we re-entered in here, I mean, we had this pretty big move to the downside, but all this liquidity getting filled on the way down. So maybe it's just overextended here by the sellers, and we need a bit bigger pullback here by the buyers. Now we're still finding aggressive sellers here, but we're caught wrong here on this one. I don't know. There's something to it. We're just kind of waiting for the flow here to change. Maybe this is where we can, look more at a cumulative volume delta and see if we can get that here. So we're stopped out on that one too. But looking for this kind of shift and change in the order flow here, and we're right around the level. So I'm looking for it here. So here we go. So maybe it's going to be right around in here. I'm looking for it, looking for those buyers in here. Okay, not bad. Oh, nothing. Okay, cumulative volume delta. No, nothing. Let's go back to our higher time frame. Candles at the bottom of this range here. Go lower though. And what about our higher time frame book map? Yeah, it's not really telling us much here. I mean, it looks more sell side. And we do see some support here, or where those buyers came in. Just not seeing the shift and change in here we're looking for in a reversal. That's not bad. We can probably trade that back up just to the top of it. Let's see if we can get back to the top of the range here. And not looking good. Yeah, having our exhaustion there, and back down. So yeah, we're still not, we're trying to catch the falling knife here. Yeah, it's not looking good. All right, we're just gonna have to sit it out and wait for a better level, maybe down here around 19. We're kind of in the middle of the range in here. Let's see what happens down here at 19, or maybe have to get down a little bit lower as well. 19 looks pretty good though here. 20, 19, like that. It's getting interesting. Okay, from our sellers. Okay, it's starting to bid up here. We see a little reaction to that bid. See that? Okay, so it's getting, this is becoming an interesting level. And we're just we're going to see a little bit of a battle here at this area. And just jump back to a little bit higher time frame here. Okay, the swing low is down here around 17, but the liquidity is here at 19 or 20. Yeah, yeah, it does make sense. This is a pretty nice little level here, kind of medium time frame. Oh boy. See how, like, look at the volume bars and the color and size of the dots. I mean, this is really choppy right now. Okay, and especially this move in here is not, it's not choppy. This is decisive. And again, there is more selling here still. We're kind of waiting for that shift in flow to unfold though. Okay, high liquidity trades here at 27. There's some exhaustion. Let's see if we can get back down here. Sell side. No. There we go. Okay, let's see if the sellers can take it down here and down to 20 at this point. Pull back. Okay, let's see sellers at the bottom edge here, and then we can get down into 20. Let's see if we can get that. Here's another thing that might help on these kinds of days like this. See this volume in here? It's kind of middle of the, it's not really middle of the range, but this is where if we can get through here on sellers, here we'll just demo it here. If we get through here on sellers, then we look for the continuation down now. This would be that wick or that pullback that we were talking about earlier. Okay, see how buyers keep buying around this area in here. Cancel it. And actually for sellers here, there they are. Yeah, see how they're still supporting it here. So what we're looking for though is the follow through with heavy selling, and then that would be a move back down into high liquidity or bottom of the range here. All right, so there's some exhaustion here, and let's see if we can get this or not. We see pretty heavy selling here. It's going to be back and forth. This is going to be, we're looking for the follow through though, through this. Target our 20 level. No, not getting it. Not getting it. We're going to get squeezed. All right, now sellers really, if they don't pick it up here, we got to get out. Yeah, we're out. Yeah, that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for this slight low volume pullback and then follow through, and we did not. We got the opposite here. Okay, now it's starting to follow through though. Let's see though. Let's see. It's just not heavy here. That sell side. You don't need Michael. You don't need Trader Map Pro to make your chart look like this. Here, let me open up Trader Map Lite. I'll come back here off of this chart here, and this is free. Trader Map Lite is free. Okay, so let me find it here. Map Pro, Trader Map Lite. All right, so this is the difference between the two. You can see the filters here. You have three, right? Standard, high sensitivity, low sensitivity. We'll just use standard. And you can see it already opened it up here. Let's take a look at it. Okay, it does a great job. And again, you don't need to have the MBO bundle for that. It's no big deal. I kind of prefer the Trader Map Pro version because you have more kind of control over it. There's a slider instead. Let me show you what it looks like in Trader Map Pro. Here you can see you get this little slider in here, right? So if we add like a new one in here, go with add bot remover, and then I can adjust it here where I only had 3 settings before. Now Trader Map Pro, this is just one of the algos that you have in here. You can see if I hit the add button in here, I have many in here that I can add for Trader Map Pro. Okay, so the bot removers, again, it's just one. All right, so just want to clarify that. So just use Trader Map Lite. You're good to go. Okay, here's what it looks like. It looks pretty good. It looks great. You know, it's giving you really good information in here. And you can always come in here and adjust the heat map as well once you're in Trader Map Lite. Right, so now it's up to you, whatever you want to use. All right, let's see if we get this. Are buyers still supporting this here, or are we going to get our move into 20 that we were kind of looking for? And it's a tough call here. It's really kind of back and forth in here. There's plenty of selling, but that kind of shift in the order flow and transition in the transaction starting to kind of unfold here, right? If we can get sellers down here, look out. It's going to be a pretty nice move. Yeah, there you go. Alois, he's got Pro, but he uses Trader Map Lite. So, right, the Trader Map Lite, Michael, just to again clarify some of this, is the it's an algo and a bot only for the ES, the NQ, and the RTY. And that's it, right? It's like I said, it's free, and that's where the bots are mostly kind of plaguing the markets for us. But you can apply the Trader Map Pro bot remover on any market. All right, just these are the differences between the two. All right, let's see if we can get that move now, sell side here, and it should be like a pretty nice a squeeze to the downside if we can get them here. Now it might be. I'm looking for are these sellers going to be squeezed or are these buyers going to be squeezed? Right. So we're going to look to see who's going to win this one here. Whoever feels the pressure, the most pain, is going to drive that market. Okay, so let's see if we get our sellers here. Heck, let's go for it. Let's take another one. I'm just curious to see a follow through on this. Yeah, because I want to see that squeeze into this some of this high liquidity down here. It's set up pretty nicely for it. Okay, yeah, I mean we might become the food in here, you know, it by selling the bottom edge here. This is always the danger. You know, and we're looking for, which is kind of it's a hard thing to kind of justify. You see all this chop in here, and we're looking for a move outside of the chop, and we're calling it right here. It's set up though. It's set up for it. It's pretty nice. I just need to see a lack of buying here, and then sellers to come in. They got it here. Here's our exhaustion. Here's our sellers. So sellers they've got this. Okay, bottom of the swing here. But I'm still looking for the follow through to the downside here. DB, you're welcome. That's great. I'm glad you found it helpful here. Yeah, you know, it's just the simplest thing. It looks so like it's so complex. It really is the simplest thing. These are buyers here on the bid. That's it. You know, do these aggressive sellers want to meet the buyers down here? Right? We can read that context. And then what we have to kind of help guide us to understand that is the price structure, which is so important. Like, you know, where is it too expensive or too cheap? So now, you know, we just traded into high liquidity again down here, and we're still finding more sellers below it here. But usually, typically, this is where we're going to have some chop after trading into these guys here, right? So yeah, this is kind of anticipated. And that's how you can get these structures. See how we trade into high liquidity, pullback. Trade into high liquidity, we're looking for a pullback, maybe back to here, 22 or so. Or maybe the trend just picks up. Maybe there's just more supply coming in. Okay, this is a pretty good area. Probably call it quits, to be honest. Let's see on this rotation here, because look at how thinly it's traded down here. We got to see sellers really pick it up if we're going to get into these lower areas down here. Not bad. Yeah, we're gonna find some bottom fissures here, I imagine. Yeah, let's just empty the gun here. All right, so that's that. Guys, we're gonna wrap it up, and let me know if was there any questions on this. Trying to we got kind of caught up in. I still think this was a good a potential setup here. We traded into, we look for the pullback after trading into high liquidity. We broke the structure here. We're looking at measured moves in here, and it didn't work out. And then tried another one in here, and didn't work out. Nor did this one here. But we finally got something. And we had some nicer ones earlier on the right side. So anyway, as we started the webinar, we talked about like higher time frames, and look at what Rob has done. Passing his evaluation and moving on. Those are, look for your higher time frames, do your back testing, and then look for the order flow to support those levels. Okay, so if you're looking at, you might be looking at a VWAP. Let's add a VWAP in here quickly, or an anchored VWAP. That's fine, or maybe it's fib levels, whatever it might be. It really doesn't matter. Just look at the order flow around your levels. I think that's where you're going to get a lot more out of it. Okay, so here's our VWAP line here, and you can see we traded through it, back up to it, and then continuation. All right, so I don't know. I'm not much on VWAPs, but this can provide your higher time frame structure that you're looking for. Okay, or it's just simple support and resistance areas in here, which is a great thing to look for. Like we're down below this swing here. That's kind of, we're looking for below this one and then follow through. Right, it's starting to. So we can come all the way back down to here, below 6,000. Okay, this is a big gap here, and usually after a big gap, you look for that continuation. So justify that, and these would be your targets, like someplace down in here. Again, these are just some trade concepts and ideas to take a look at. Okay, however it is that you trade. Yeah, look how our structure in here, see how it's starting to kind of shift and change. Okay, trading into high liquidity. Okay, do we still find more sellers, or do we break this, and do we find buyers, and can they come up to here? Anyway, yeah, guys, I gotta go. Thanks everybody for coming. Come on over to our Discord channel, and there's a lot more information, a lot more to go through, a lot more support from other like-minded traders. It's free of charge, so I believe you need to at least register on our website, but then you have access to and partake in any of the conversations and chats. All right. Thanks for coming, everybody, and we will catch up with you tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. Take care. Bye-bye.